you to the NAB. It's a national broadcasting platform. They are the leading advocate for broadcasters, industry, and public affairs, while driving innovation and highlighting the vital role stations play in their communications. Get ready, tech enthusiasts! I'm excited to share my 10th year at the NAB in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello, I'm Caitlin Ellis, and I'm here talking with AGA Video Systems. Abe, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here. Excited to come and talk about AJA and what we've been doing lately.
Can you please tell our audience again your name and your position?
Yeah. My name's Abe Apt. I'm the senior product consultant here at AJA. So that just basically means I'm kind of in product management. I'm kind of in sales, and I work with the engineers and I help come up with new stuff. I talk to our customers, figure out what they want, and then we build it.
How long have you been with AGA Video Systems, and when did you originally get started and how?
Well, in an official capacity, I've been at AJA for a little over 18 years now. But in actuality, I've kind of been here from the beginning because AJA is a family business actually, and it was founded by my parents. I've kind of been around. I was running around the halls as a little kid, and then somehow they gave me a job. About 20 or so years into the storyline. So it's a little family business, and we're actually located really, really close to Sacramento too. And I'm doing this interview sitting here in East Sacramento. I live in Sacramento myself.
And next, can you please tell our audience, because we were just there, a little bit about the National Association of Broadcasters and
Oh
what was
yeah.
featured this year for AGA Audio Systems at the 2026 NAB?
Yeah, well, the NAB, it's one of the biggest shows of the year for us. It's something that I look forward to every single year. AJA has a huge booth at this show, thousands of square feet of booth, and our product portfolio as a whole is 200 plus products, and we put most of them up at this show. So it's a really, really big production. And every year we try to have some new big announcements. So this year we had a couple of new products, a big update to an existing product, and then some big kind of business news. So, one of the new products we announced, it's called the Bridge Live IP, and it's basically it's part of a family of products that we call the Bridge products, and they're kind of enterprise grade. Audio and video bridges, for lack of a better term. Bridge is the best way to describe these things. And what they allow people to do is convert and encode and transcode and decode between various IP video formats and baseband video formats, depending on the model of bridge. So the one we released at NAB is the Bridge Live IP. So what this does is it allows you to take in a bunch of streams in various different kinds of formats. These could be SRT streams. They could be they can be MPEG streams. They could be NDI streams, and you can decode these streams and then encode them in the new, very popular SMPTE 2110 formats and send them out over your IP network. And yeah, I mean, IP video is just kind of the thing right now. AJA is a company that's always been about transitions. When we first started the company, it was the transition from analog to digital in the video world. And then there was the SD to HD transition. And then there was the big kind of advent of, off the shelf computer based editing systems. We were one of the first ones that allowed people to, we built a little capture card that you could put in an off the shelf Mac, capture video into your computer and be off and running. That was revolutionary 25 years ago. Then we had other transitions from like tape-based recording to disc-based recording. One of the first disc-based ProRes recorders ever built was the AJA Key Pro, which we released back in 2008. That was my first year here in official capacity. That was my first NAB, was NAB 2008 when we announced the Key Pro. And so these bridge products are just kind of a natural evolution of what we've been doing for all these years. Now we have this baseband to IP video transition that's happening, and it gets kind of scary because it's a completely new technology change. We're going from baseband video, the copper wire, the stuff, the red, blue, and green, the
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that's always been there. It's easy baseband stuff. Now it's IP. So now we're getting into this networking world, and video guys like me have got to learn IP technology. Now I have to know what the OSI model is and stuff like that. So it's kind of a scary thing. And what we've designed products like Bridge Live IP to do is integrate into this world and bridge these gaps for our customers to make this easier. And the other cool thing is this IP world. It gives a lot of opportunities for multiple manufacturers to work together in based on standards like the SMPTE 2110 framework is just a collection of standards and methodologies for passing audio and video essences across a network. And then there's things like NMOS and Ember Plus, and these are ways of using your network tools to control all of these video devices. Well, because of these standards, there's a lot of opportunity for interoperability, which is one of our favorite things here. So everything gets to work together really, really nicely and mold together nicely, and it makes for very, very powerful workflows. And now we're seeing our customers do really, really cool things with things like Bridge Live IP, the other Bridge products, which I haven't even mentioned. They weren't new at NAB, but they're a big part of this whole philosophy. The other Bridge products will allow you to just take baseband video, SCI video, and turn it into any IP video, IP format that you might need. And there's a lot of them out there, and that's for a reason, because every format has its purposes and its needs and uses. So that's Bridge Live in the IP world. Also in the IP world, I can talk about the other product that we it wasn't a new product. It was a new product that we announced at IBC in 2025. That's our big show in Amsterdam. But at NAB 2026, our IP25R product, this is when it was announced in Amsterdam, what the IP25R was a IP receiver. So it would take a SMPTE 2110 signal. So your video and audio and metadata flying around your network. It'll grab those 2110 video signals and decode them and turn them into a baseband SDI and or HDMI signal for monitoring purposes. What we announced at NAB was a new firmware update that basically gives it two modes now. So now it is not just a receiver, it's also a transmitter. So now you can switch it into transmit mode, and instead of going SMPTE 2110 to baseband, you're now going baseband to SMPTE 2110. So say you have a fancy video network at this facility, but you have an SDI camera, an SDI deck, SDI recorder, anything, you need to get those essences into your IP network. IP25R can do that for you. We made a lot of people really excited with this update because it's another one of those things we do. We build really powerful products, and then we add stuff to them, and we don't charge for these updates. So this firmware update is free. So anybody that already had an IP25R, well, now you basically have an IP25T in a sense. So it's a really cool thing that we did. And then, the other new product we announced at NAB is a little bit more old school and a little bit more simple. It's easy and simple to talk about. We call it the OG Gen 10. So Gen 10 is our sync generator. It was something we announced originally in mini converter form factor, actually way back in 2007. And the Gen 10 mini converter, it's just that. It's a sync generator. Generates blackburst, tri-level sync, AES11 audio sync, but it's just in a little tiny box. And all it does is generate sync and give you multiple outputs. Really, really simple, really, really cost effective. It actually got a standing ovation when we announced it in 2007 from our little dealer meeting where we tell everybody about our new products, because people had been wanting something like that. It's like, look, I just need a bunch of sync flying around my facility. I don't want to buy a big $10,000 box to do this. Just give me something that kicks out a sync signal. So that's what we did. And then almost 20 years later, we announced the OG Gen 10, which is the same product. It's just in the open gear form factor. So instead of a little throwdown mini converter, it's now a card that goes into the open gear rack mount frames. So these open gear frames are just was a technology invented by Ross Video, and then they kind of open source that technology and form factor out to the other vendors in the industry. And so now we all make little cards that slide into these open gear frames, and it allows you to put a lot of conversion power into just two rack units. And then you have a universal control system through this application called Dashboard. So it's just, you can have an open gear frame, two rack units. You can have a bunch of different converters in there doing all kinds of different stuff. And OGG Gen 10, some OG High 5 12Gs, which convert SDI to HDMI. You can have up-down cross converters, frame synchronizers, little things all in a little two rack unit box. And then you're controlling them all via an IP connection in one computer. So really fascinating stuff. And I know pretty much every TV station in Sacramento has got an open gear frame somewhere in there. And I know the
Mm.
Kings have a bunch of them in the stadium. So
If your audience would like to find out more information about AGA systems and such, where can they go?
easiest thing is just to go to our website, easiest URL on earth, aja.com. It's very, very simple. It's a great website. All of our information is there. And, anytime you click a button on that website that says, hey, contact me or
Hmm.
contact us, you're going to get one of us right away. We're just up in Grass Valley. Our headquarters is up in Grass Valley, California. Like I said, I live here in Sacramento, and that's how we like to do things. So if you need more information from AJA, aja.com. We also have a Vimeo channel, a YouTube channel, all those things. But yeah, check out the website. And if you have more questions, give us a call, shoot us an email. You're going to talk to one of us really quick. We get right back to you.
Well, thank you for taking the time and joining us today and everything. But at this time, is there anything else you can think of at the moment you'd like to share with our audience before we go, whether it be something in the future or something that's happened now or in the past?
Well, some big news happened with AJA this year. Also, it wasn't product news, but we announced it at NAB. We acquired a company called Compromato. So those bridge products that I talked about earlier, they have software that runs in them. Very, very powerful transcoding software, beautiful user interfaces, really easy to use stuff. It's been engineered and made by a company called Compromato. They've been partners with us for a very, very long time. And well, we just decided to make it permanent. And that was announced at NAB. So we acquired Compromato. It just feels like our family's growing. I mean, we're so close with these guys. It's exciting to have them. So there's going to be a lot more innovation coming out here in the coming months and in the coming years from AJA. I think it's going to be really exciting. And also, hey, just for some fun snippets about AJA, some connection to the Sacramento area, because like I said, I live here. My wife lives here. My wife's a Sacramento native. I was born in Sacramento at Sutter Memorial, which is now a housing community just a few blocks away from me.
Mhm.
But the founders of AJA, they met right here in Sacramento at East Portal Park, which is about 1,000 feet that way from me. And yeah, I mean, my dad, the founder of AJA, his name's John. He was master control at Channel 10 over on Broadway, and my mom was a broadcast engineer at Channel 10. And the news
Oh,
reporter from back in the day, Dick Cable, he won the birth pool when I was born in 1984. So now I'm revealing how old I am. Uh,
you're
but
young.
yeah, so we I just I was really really stoked when SacTown Underground contacted us. I was very very excited to talk to you guys, and we love the community of Sacramento. We're really really closely connected to it. My mom was also a DJ at Quad for a while. This was in the early '80s though. So thought it's just a fun thing to add because yeah, I mean we're a company that does a lot of stuff behind the scenes and under the hood for some of the biggest broadcasts on earth, and I don't think a lot of people know that we're just right up there in Grass Valley, and we're deeply connected to Sacramento here. I mean, my dad went to Sac State. That's where he got his engineering degree.
Well, again, thank you so much for all the information that you've given our audience.
Yeah.
It's so great to see, yeah, you can go on your website and right away it joins you in, you wouldn't look at everything, but just hearing it out loud now, I'm sure our audience is so excited. I want to go look at more of your stuff. So again, thank you for taking the time and joining us today.
Right on. Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Hi, I'm Lori Hernandez. Welcome back to Cirque It Out, direct from Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. Today, we're circing it out at O, one of Cirque's most celebrated shows. If you haven't seen O yet, you definitely should. The stage itself is amazing and so unique. The stage transforms into a pool for aquatic performances. You have to see it to believe it. Ready to work out the Cirque way? Let's Cirque it out. A huge part of the Cirque du Soleil show O takes place in the water. Some of the performers in the show have backgrounds in competitive aquatic sports, like the artist who inspired today's workout, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Michelle is a world-class synchronized swimmer. She is going to be put through the paces by performance conditioning specialist Leland Barker. What's up?
What's up, dude?
Synchronized swimming requires a unique set of athletic skills. Keeping those skills sharp is the basis of today's workout. Let's Cirque it out.
The synchronized swimmers at O spend a lot of time sculling and egg beating, in addition to the obvious one, swimming. This workout will focus on strength and mobility, followed by conditioning. We are targeting the hamstrings, glutes, and adductors with proper lumbopelvic rhythms to develop strength and mobility for the egg beater. We are targeting upward and downward scapular rotators with proper scapulohumeral rhythms to support demands for swimming and sculling. We'll finish our strength work with push-pulls, an exercise I use to train the internal and external obliques for rotational strength through the spine. And for conditioning, the sled push will target the lower extremity. So you ready to work out?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. So the first exercise is the split cable RDL. Michelle's gonna grab the ropes at a low position, and she's gonna maintain her posture. And essentially we're targeting the adductors, the inner thighs, which is important for egg beating in synchronized swimming. We're looking for light weights. It's kind of a gentle stretch. Too far of a split is not going to work. We need the legs to be kind of at a 45-degree angle. We'll do a couple more here. I'm looking for her hips to kind of drive forward and basically get her a good stretch in the adductors. Nice job, Michelle. This is our first exercise. It's a primary strength exercise of trap bar deadlift. We're gonna do 3 sets of 5 today, so go ahead. And we'll talk about some of the main points I'm looking for. The major one, keep your back straight. I'm always looking for people to keep a good posture. Michelle does a great job. And then I'm looking for them to drive their hips forward early in the movement and really move up as quickly as they can. Nice, Michelle. Well done. This exercise is the goblet squat. It's a basic squat movement, and we use it in our warm-up. And so I'm gonna have you do a set of 10, okay? So in this exercise, they're holding the kettlebell close to the chest. It's out in front. It allows them to get a good stretch in their hips, ankles, and generally an easy way to teach people the squatting movement. Here again, I'm looking for a good posture. Looking for them to find a position where their knees are pointing in the direction that their toes are pointing. Last one here. Nice, Michelle. So now we're gonna move into our upper body exercises. This is the cable pullover. I'm gonna have Michelle do 2 sets of 10. This exercise I find especially useful for swimmers. And what I'm looking for is for her to keep her abs tight and allow her lats to stretch as the cable goes up. This is gonna be a good exercise to target your lats, the long head of the triceps, and basically the major muscles that are used for swimming. Michelle's doing a nice job here. I'm looking for her to stretch it out, so let that stretch out with the lats, and then we're pulling the cable towards our hips. A lot of times some people will start bending their elbow, and we want to keep the elbows pretty locked out in this exercise. Nice job, Michelle. Here's the curl and press. We're gonna do a couple variations of this through the set. So I'm gonna have you do a set of 10. She's gonna do 2 of them strict. So we're just getting a curl and then a press. I'm trying to look for an upward rotation of the scapula here. And now she's gonna do a couple with her body. This is a way for me to add some explosiveness to the movement and allow people to learn good technique to get the weight overhead. Nice, and we'll do one more. Nice, Michelle. Lori's gonna join us for this last exercise. This is one of my favorite ones called the push-pull. You guys are gonna do a set of 10, okay? The cue for this one I give is keep your belly button pointing forward, allow your rib cage to spin. It's gonna allow us to train the internal and external obliques for a pretty high level of strength. You can put these weights pretty high. I'm looking for a good posture, and just make sure to do both sides. Nice job, you two. Well done.
I'm already sore.
This is our dreaded sled push and drag we use for conditioning. So Michelle's gonna push this down, down and back. We're shooting here for about 20 seconds of work, and then I allow full recovery. There's plenty of time combinations you can do, but we're looking to get a good lower extremity burn, so we're looking for the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, the calves. They'll all be feeling it at the end of this. Nice job, Michelle. Another alternative is if you have carpet, you can grab a piece of cardboard and you can kind of push it along the floor. That's another way to provide some horizontal resistance. So at the end of the workout, it's good to cool down, slow down, get ready for the show. We like to use some foam rolling and...
Sorry, Lee, I gotta go. It's showtime.
We'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed it. Let's cirque it out.
Where the shadows play, dancing alone in a golden sway. The air hums low like it knows my name, a rhythm of love in a soulful flame. The bass line walks like it's got a plan. Every beat hits like a lover's hand. The hi-hats whisper a secret tune. I'm floating high like a silk balloon. Oh, it's a soulful glow. Let the music flow. Feel the heat in your veins. Let the groove remain. The stars lean close like they want to sing. Wrapped in a sound only night can bring. My heart beats fast with a velvet tone. This world of sound feels like home. Lose yourself where the rhythm's deep. Find the dreams that the drums will keep. Close your eyes, let the moment breathe. A symphony's heart lies underneath. Oh, it's a soulful glow.